This is a great app for you musicians out there. It is a way to make posters right on the spot at a venue.
This episode brought to you by GoToMeeting.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. Welcome to iPad 365, the show where we look at apps to keep your iPad play. We've got a great app here. I saw it. It was actually the featured app on the iTunes store, and I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, this is interesting. I downloaded it and I literally fell in love with it. We're going to check it out. We'll check it out in a second. First of all, I want to let you know the Twitter handle is iPad365. Of course, the email address is show@ipad-365.com. Show@ipad-365.com. Go there and suggest any apps, or if you have any questions, feel free to email me there or Twitter me there. All right, we've got a great app here today in Phoster, P-H-O-S-T-E-R. It's by Bucket Labs, and it's a great way for you to put out a poster right then and there. Now, here, let's build up a situation here. You are at a venue, and you're a musician. Let's say I do acoustic guitar acts every now and then. So I walk into a place and I say, hey, let's get some dates together. I talk with the manager and they say, okay, well, how about this date and this date? And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Wow, that date is like 2 or 3 weeks away. Yeah, we better get posters up right away. No, that's actually pretty easy. Let me go into my iPad and create a new Phoster. And they go, what's a Phoster? And it's like, oh, it's a poster for me. Like, for instance, we'll take this first one. You get some templates that you can choose from, and you can work around the templates, so on and so forth. You put in a photo. In this case, we're going to do a camera, and you're going to see a little bit of the mess. Let's flip it around so you can actually see me. And I'm going to take a picture of me. I'm going to smile. And then I'll use that. And of course, you can see that in there. As you see, I'm just outlining it here. I go in and I can actually change a lot of stuff here. Let's change this to a zine, like this. Now my poster says Geekazine, has a picture of me. I can actually put in different things. I can move things around, these little squiggly lines if I want to change the color of them. So what I can do, here's my poster, and it says Geekazine, and I can actually edit all these little bits and pieces here. I can add text, I can adjust, I can do a major adjust of the whole thing. Let's say I want it a little bit brighter, I want it a little bit darker. There we go. That's of the, looks like of the image. I can add text. We're just going to leave it like this. I do want to show you something. You might not be able to see it on the screen. On the corners, you actually have guide marks and color palettes. So if you actually get this professionally printed, like over at your local printers or a Kinko's or whatever, then they can actually set it up so it sets up into poster form so you can print it right away. So if you're on the road, and you say, okay, we're going to be playing Memphis tomorrow, we better make some posters. Let's make it, and then we're going to send that off to the local copy shop, so they'll have 10, 20, 30 copies waiting when we get to Memphis so we can put them up. Now from there we hit next, and we've got all these options, kind of like I hate to say Instagram, but you get the idea. You got different ways to actually do it. Like, for instance, if you want to look like you have folds in your poster, then without natural folds, I don't know why you just can't naturally fold it, but anyway, you can choose that. If you want to have like a smudged look to it, you can choose that one, and then it turns around and it actually creates the poster with this background. And there you got, looks like a poster that sat on the floor at the local bar for a couple weeks. You can go back, you can do different things to it, different lines. My favorite one's right here. It's kind of like a little halftone dot. And of course, there is your poster right there. I can save it, I can share it off, I can send it to Instagram, Facebook, Flickr, Twitter, or I can print it out. All I have to do is hit the print button. If there's a wireless printer nearby, I can select that printer. It's looking for printers, and then once it finds the printer, then I can turn around and actually make a print of it. But this is a great way for you to actually create your posters and get them out right then, right there, so they don't have to wait for you. You just have them all done and everything looks good from there. So if you want to check it out, it's called Phoster, P-H-O-S-T-E-R. It's absolutely free in the App Store, but once again, it's the featured app, so I'm not sure if it will actually change to a regular price there. There are really no in-app purchases for this, but they do have a couple more apps by Bucket Labs, and you can check it out all over at Bucket Labs. Phoster is the name of the app. Check it out, download it, and if you're a musician, use it. Meetings are essential ways to work. It's an opportunity to share ideas. It's an opportunity to problem solve and even develop creative solutions. But you know, sometimes getting everybody into the same meeting room is a creative solution in itself. That's why I use a program, GoToMeeting with HD Faces. It's the powerfully simple way to meet and collaborate online. You know, I just got done using a meeting just yesterday with Andy McCaskey. We're setting up for a upcoming conference, and we had to figure out our gear and figure out who's going to do what and how we're going to work this thing. All of a sudden we had a productive meeting and we know a solution, so we don't have to call and say, hey, what happened here, or how did we work here? No matter where anyone is located, either in Wisconsin, Indiana, Hawaii, or whatever, GoToMeeting will allow you to share the same screen, making it easier to be on that same page. And with the built-in HD video conferencing, you can see each other face to face. It's so easy to launch or join a meeting on a Mac or a PC. It's so easy to join a meeting on a smartphone or a tablet. But now you can also present on your iPad. You can start a meeting, you can hand off presenters, you can control the meeting through your iPad. Check it out yourself. Put it into your business toolbox. 30-day free trial. Simply visit gotomeeting.com. Click that Try It Free Now button and turn the promo code podcast. Podcast will get you 30 days of this great software over at GoToMeeting. Once again, use the promo code podcast. And that's this episode of iPad 365. What'd you think of Phoster? I liked it. And you know, I talked about being a musician, but there's so many other uses for it. Like, for instance, I go out to the public and I say, hey, I'm going to be doing podcast tutorials. I just did one with GarageBand a couple weeks ago. And if I want to create a poster for something like that, I can. If you're into books or anything like that, and there's a big book reading, or maybe you've just published a book and you're putting up posters at the local bookstore. Maybe you lost your cat and you want to put together a poster of Fluffy, so you can put it up on all the electrical poles around the city. Then this is another great reason to have Phoster. And once again, it's absolutely free right now, so just go download it, period. So, anyway, that is today's episode of iPad 365. Let me know what you think of Phoster. All you have to do is Twitter me over at iPad365.com, and then, of course, the email address is show@iPad-365, iPad-365.com. All right, we will be back on Monday with another episode of iPad 365. I'll be straight from the NAB, and maybe I'll have some cool iPad apps for all you broadcasters out there. We'll see what happens. Until then, we'll see you on Monday, and then, of course, until then, you guys geek out like you always do.